Raising AI proficiency across the workforce and getting more employers to invest in upskilling. These are among key priorities for SkillsFuture Singapore as it enters its next chapter, launched by Prime Minister Lawrence Wong. Mr. Wong says more can be done to maximise the programme's impact and calls for a major mindset shift. Risha Matthew with more.
It's been a decade since the national upskilling drive. And today, 1 in 5 workers take part in SkillsFuture supported courses every year. But Prime Minister Lawrence Wong says there's, quote, still much more to do.
Learning is really about continuous improvements throughout life, whether by learning new things, deepening one's existing expertise, or putting in the effort to maximize your potential in everything you do across your life. And all of us, as we lead longer lives, may well have not just 1 or 2, but many more career transitions.
To keep pace with the industry shifts, SkillsFuture will curate courses that cover broad-based skills like AI literacy. And to track the various certifications, there's an online career and skills planning platform. It's a one-stop shop with all the verified details of a person's education, job history and training. With this platform, I can easily access information required for me when I'm applying for a job, or it could help me identify skills gap. For employers, this is a trusted platform where they can ensure the records of their future employees are verified, or even help them to take a stock take of their current employees' skill set. Besides focusing on upskilling for the individual, SkillsFuture is also looking to partner employers in its next phase.
Business and employer has to focus on doing well, doing good for their company, and they naturally worry that their workers will leave them. So left on their own, left to the market, employers everywhere are more likely to underinvest in training.
It's why the SkillsFuture Enterprise Credit was redesigned to help offset out-of-pocket costs during workforce transformation initiatives. Mr. Wong says that the government will continue to increase investment in SkillsFuture in the coming years.
For more, I'm joined by Kong Yam. He's the Chief Executive of SkillsFuture Singapore, the government office that drives training under SkillsFuture. Kok Yam, thanks for joining me. Now, let's talk about your office, in its new chapter, right? But how do you ensure that the courses are industry relevant and also sector specific?
Thanks. I think for that to happen, a few things must happen. First of all, I think employers will need to be specific as possible in the sort of skills that they need. It help if, in a typical job posting, you ask for qualifications, you ask for job experience. It is more helpful if you signal the sort of skills that you're looking for so that individuals can respond accordingly. So that's number one. Number two, SkillsFuture as an agency, SkillsFuture Singapore as an agency, I will continue to invest in our capabilities to do labour market surveillance, to be able to pick out the soft signals from the labour market about what skills are important, what skills are being sought after, and then activate our training providers to provide those skills. So that's the second point. And then third, training providers, our institutions, polytechnics, universities, the private training providers must deepen their links with companies so that they can deliver industry-specific, in fact, company-specific training, which is not just going through classroom content, but really delivering the sort of upskilling that is relevant to the company's context. So I think these three things must happen to keep our training industry relevant.
Right. Okay, so, SkillsFuture, the agency is also refreshing and resetting. We're talking about a new chapter. So also for Singapore, why is it so important that Singapore gets it right to keep powering on?
Because that is our competitive edge, right? Whether at the national level, at a company level, at an individual level, being able to be the quickest, to put the right skills on the table, being the most adaptable, is how we get good jobs to continue to come in, is how we continue to maintain our competitiveness, our labour market competitiveness.
Okay. All right, so we're going to hold it there for a little bit. We're going to look at the next story. Now, the Workforce Singapore is also looking to encourage more employers to adopt a skills-first hiring approach. And this means looking at an individual's practical skills rather than traditional indicators like education or job titles when it comes to hiring or career progression. Let's look at this report from Caitlin Ng. She finds out what kind of support is needed to make this work.
At this software company, job applicants are put to the test by completing a full installation process from start to finish. Hidden obstacles are also planted to see how well they perform under pressure. It's part of the company's long-standing approach to prioritize real-world skills over paper qualifications.
There are people that, if you look at the qualification, it didn't look great. But you look at the experience, like, hey, there's something about these people. And during the interview, we realized that they were able to share with you real-life examples of how they actually handle projects or how they actually deliver certain type of projects in their past companies.
InspireTech is among a growing pool of companies that are focusing on the skills candidates bring to the table. Another is Krishna Genyo, a food services business behind brands like Auntie Anne's Pretzels. Adopting a skills-first approach has helped them expand their talent pool and address hiring challenges during a labor crunch. But this approach comes with trade-offs.
When we go on a skills-based approach, we do have to set aside significant amount of budget for training. So as a SME, we do have to carve out investment into learning and development programs.
Workforce Singapore adds that there's also the complexity of defining what skills are needed and verifying that candidates have them.
Business models are evolving and job roles are evolving, so we need to understand what that implications on individuals as well as employers. I think for individuals, they definitely need to be open to pivoting to new job roles, and for employers to be open to accessing a wider pool of talent, and they can do so with skills-first hiring practices.
She hopes tools from WSG and SkillsFuture Singapore will help employers build a future-ready workforce, while helping workers find meaningful careers.
Okay, Kok Yam, let's pick up the conversation from the package we just hear. That what are we heard that some challenges that companies face, when taking a skills-first approach. How do we bridge this gap?
I think we start where we are now is I think companies, the labor market in general, is very comfortable with looking at qualifications, with looking at job experience, and it's not that those are not significant or important, but it's just if you want to go deeper to understand what the company, what the individual is able to bring to the table, then you have to go and look at his skills, and that's a capability. Now, what we are doing, as Dilis, my colleague, has mentioned, is that we are putting in place, first of all, a suite of tools, including a career and skills passport, which we demonstrated today, to better help both individuals and companies assess the skills stock and as well as the skills gap of an individual. So that, for example, if you're looking for someone to fulfill, say, a quality management role or digital marketing role, you don't look so much at perhaps his industry. You look at the fact, you look at whether he has been able to demonstrate those skills through his experiences or through credentials attained. And hopefully, by doing so, we get a more a versatile labor force. We get workers who are more deployable across sectors.
Okay. Now, let's talk about, say, balancing priorities, which all of us have to do. So there are lifelong learners, or adults, with families and responsibilities, right? What sort of mindset shift do you hope to see with all of us, really, with balancing priorities?
That's a great question. I mean, together with Workforce Singapore and the Ministry of Manpower, we've used the metaphor of health. And our physical health is one of those things that we know is important. And we need to dedicate time from our busy schedule to make sure that we stay physically fit, and we all know it's good for us. So I think it's a similar concept for looking at your skill stock, for looking at your own career health. And that's why we have coined that term, career health, that you have to invest in yourself. Just as you invest in your own physical health, you have to invest in your own career health for long-term career versatility, long-term career resilience. And we are all busy. We know that. So it's about really having the discipline and, as you say, the mindset to be able to dedicate the time and the effort to be able to do that. And with that, with the individual making that step, I think as PM has already emphasized, the government will support.
I like that term, career health. It really kind of puts it into perspective, that you need to take care of it.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah.
You need to invest in it and then put effort in it.
Yeah, exactly. Earlier you talked about the career and skills passport. Can you share some of the future plans for this scheme?
Right. So let me just explain a little bit about the objective of the career and skills passport. I think we have three. And the first is because we share, it is a document, it is a platform to share government verified information about your employment history and the credentials that you have earned through upskilling and so on. It makes the matching process easier. It makes it easier for employers to find the right match from among hirees for the job. And that's good for both the individual and for the company to get that match done easier. It's a more efficient labor market, so to speak. The second, and that speaks to a little bit of the skills first hiring that Liz mentioned, is that we want to use the careers and skills passport to emphasize the individual skills. So whether it's project management, digital marketing, quality management, Python development, what have you, we want to put that up front so that it's easier also for employers to practice skills first, skills-based hiring. That's the second point. And the third point is as an agency and working together with Workforce Singapore, we want to use that information about the individual to better serve him and provide him customized recommendations about the next steps he can take to improve his portfolio, whether it's courses and in time to come, career, even career recommendations. Now, you speak about what we are going to do to improve that. I think the first order of the day is really to onboard as many companies, as many individuals as possible, and then we see what feedback they have for us, and then we improve along the way.
All right, Kong Yam, thank you so much for that. Thanks for your time, for joining us and sharing your plans. And that was Kok Yam, their Chief Executive of SkillsFuture Singapore.